AITA for refusing to take care of my niece after my sister's sudden disappearance, even though it means her daughter might end up in foster care. This whole situation is a nightmare I never saw coming, and I'm honestly torn about what I should have done or should do now. My sister, let's call her Lisa, and I haven't always been close. We grew up in a chaotic household with an emotionally absent mother and an alcoholic father. Lisa was always the rebellious one, and I was the responsible one. We drifted apart after high school and only reconnected sporadically over the years, mostly through social media and a few forced family gatherings. Lisa has a daughter, Emma, who is now 8 years old. For years, Lisa struggled with drug addiction and unstable housing, and Emma spent a lot of time with various relatives, including me on some occasions. I always helped out when I could, but I never lived close enough or had the capacity to be a full-time caregiver. I work full-time as an accountant, live in a small apartment, and don't have any kids or much spare time. About 3 months ago, Lisa disappeared. No calls, no messages, no forwarding address. Her phone went straight to voicemail, and no one could find her through friends or other family. It was terrifying because Emma was with her at the time, and nobody knew what happened to either of them. The police got involved, but with little to go on, their investigation stalled. Emma was temporarily placed with our mom, who lives across the country, but it became clear she couldn't handle full-time care because of her own health issues. So, our extended family and I had several emergency meetings about what to do. The courts eventually said Emma needed a legal guardian, and since Lisa's whereabouts were unknown, someone had to step up. My parents, who are older and not in great health, basically pressured me to take Emma in. They said I was the most stable option, despite me never having kids or experience with full-time parenting. I resisted at first, telling them I wasn't equipped to care for a child full-time. I don't have a big place, and my work demands are intense. Plus, Emma had some behavioral issues, understandably, given her unstable life, and I wasn't sure I could manage. But the family kept pushing. "She's your niece," they said. "Your family. She deserves to be with someone who loves her." I understand that, but I also know I wasn't prepared to become a parent overnight, especially for a kid with a difficult past. I also feared I would resent Emma for the disruption and stress it caused in my life, which I knew wouldn't be fair to her. So I refused to take her in. I told them if no one else was willing, I'd help find a foster family or advocate for her to get into a good program. But I couldn't be her guardian. This led to a massive fallout. My parents were devastated, accusing me of abandoning my niece. Other relatives called me selfish and cruel. Even some friends said I should have stepped up no matter what. Meanwhile, Emma has been shuffled between relatives and temporary foster care, which breaks my heart. I visit her when I can and send money and gifts, but I'm constantly haunted by whether I did the right thing. I worry that maybe I should have pushed harder to make it work, even if it was difficult. I'm scared of what this has done to my relationship with my family, and I'm scared for Emma's future. I don't want to sound cold or uncaring. I do care deeply about Emma and want the best for her. But I also have to be honest about my limits and mental health. I fear that if I took her in unprepared, both of us would suffer. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to become Emma's legal guardian and insisting she be placed with foster care or other family members instead. Should I have put my life on hold for her? Or was it reasonable to say no when I honestly didn't have the resources or capacity to provide a stable home? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of her fiancé's behavior and causing a huge family fallout. I, 28F, have always been the responsible, level-headed sibling in my family. My younger sister, Emily, 25F, has a reputation for being impulsive and somewhat reckless, but she's also very charming and outgoing, so she's always gotten away with a lot. Our parents have always indulged her more, which has caused some tension between us over the years, but nothing that couldn't be smoothed over with time. About a year ago, Emily met this guy, Jake, 27M, through work. At first, I didn't think much of him. He seemed nice enough, but a little arrogant and pushy. I had one brief interaction with him when we all went out for drinks after Emily got promoted, and I wasn't impressed. He interrupted me several times, dismissed my opinions, and seemed to dominate the conversation. I chalked it up to him just trying to make a good impression and didn't think much more about it. Over the months, Emily and Jake's relationship got serious very quickly. They announced their engagement about 6 months after meeting, and the wedding planning started immediately. That's when things began to get complicated. Jake started insisting on controlling every aspect of the wedding. He vetoed almost every suggestion Emily made, from the venue to the guest list to the food. He pushed for a very expensive destination wedding, even though Emily's budget was limited and she's a public school teacher. I offered to help Emily plan a wedding that fit her budget, but Jake made it clear he wanted things his way. The biggest issue, though, was Jake's behavior toward me. From the start, he seemed to dislike me. At family dinners, he would make snide remarks or try to one-up me on everything. He criticized my career choice and made comments about how Emily should focus more on Jake and less on boring things like work. Emily brushed it off, saying Jake was just protective of her. One incident really escalated things. At a holiday family gathering, Jake got drunk and started loudly mocking my job in front of everyone. I tried to defuse the situation, but he just got worse, calling me boring and overly serious, and saying Emily deserved someone more fun. I was furious and left early. After that, I told Emily I wasn't comfortable being around Jake and that I wouldn't attend the wedding if he was there. Emily got angry and said I was being selfish and controlling, accusing me of trying to sabotage her happiness. She said Jake was a good person and that I was unfairly judging him. Our parents tried to mediate, but mostly took Emily's side, saying I was making a big deal out of nothing. I felt hurt and isolated, especially because the rest of my family seemed to accept Jake without question. In the weeks leading up to the wedding, Emily repeatedly tried to convince me to come, promising Jake would behave and that it was important to her to have me there. I stood firm and told her I couldn't put myself in a situation where I felt disrespected and unwelcome. The day of the wedding, Emily called me one last time, begging me to reconsider. I told her I loved her, but couldn't support her wedding to someone who treated me so poorly. She hung up angrily, and I haven't spoken to her since. Now, most of my family is upset with me. They say I'm ruining Emily's big day and tearing the family apart. My parents have stopped inviting me to gatherings, and I've been blocked on social media by multiple family members. I'm feeling really torn. On one hand, I don't want to lose my family over this, but on the other hand, I can't pretend everything is fine with Jake. I'm worried I might be the asshole for refusing to attend and causing such a rift. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of her fiancé's behavior? AITA for refusing to help my sister after she deliberately ruined my wedding because of her jealousy? I never thought I'd be the one posting here, but after everything that happened, I need to know if I really was in the wrong. This has been eating me up, and honestly, the whole situation has left me feeling betrayed and confused. So here goes. My 29F sister, let's call her Emma, 27F, and I have always had a complicated relationship. We grew up close, but as adults, things have gotten tense. Emma has always been a bit competitive, especially when it comes to family attention and achievements. I was the golden child growing up, straight A's, college scholarships, and a relatively smooth life path. Emma struggled more, not academically, but socially, and she has always been sensitive about it. Our parents try to keep things balanced, but I think Emma felt overshadowed by me most of her life. I got engaged to my fiancé, David 30M, about a year ago. We've been together for 5 years, and I honestly thought Emma would be happy for me. But from the beginning, she seemed distant and sometimes even cold. I chalked it up to her personality and try not to take it personally. When we started planning the wedding, I asked Emma to be my maid of honor. I really wanted her involved because I hoped this could be a way for us to grow closer. She accepted but gave me a weird look, like she wasn't completely thrilled. I try not to read into it. As the wedding date got closer, Emma became increasingly distant. She missed dress fittings, didn't show up to bridal showers, and generally made excuses for not participating. I confronted her once, asking if everything was okay. She brushed me off, saying she was just busy with work and personal stuff. A week before the wedding, I found out from one of my bridesmaids that Emma had been talking behind my back, saying things like, "I don't see why anyone cares about her wedding, and she always gets everything handed to her." I was hurt, but still wanted to believe she might come around. The day before the wedding, I sent Emma a heartfelt message, telling her how much her support meant to me and that I hoped she could be there fully for me. She replied with a short, "I'll be there." On the wedding day, things started off well enough. Emma showed up, albeit looking a bit withdrawn. During the ceremony, everything went smoothly, and I felt happy and surrounded by love. Then came the reception. Emma disappeared for about an hour during the speeches. When she came back, she was holding a phone, and moments later, she played a video on the big screen without telling me beforehand. It was footage of an old argument between me and David from years ago, taken completely out of context, making David look bad and me look like a victim. The room fell silent, and I was mortified. The video was clearly edited to provoke a reaction and paint a negative picture of my relationship. I confronted Emma right there, and she just smirked and said, "Maybe if you weren't so perfect all the time, people would see the real you." My jaw dropped. David was stunned, guests were whispering, and I felt like my whole world was collapsing. After the reception, Emma stormed out. I didn't hear from her for days. When I finally reached out, she admitted she was jealous and felt left out all her life, and that ruining my wedding was her way of getting attention and evening the score. I told her that what she did was cruel and unforgivable, and that I needed space. Now, here's the thing. A few days ago, Emma contacted me again, asking for help. She recently lost her job and is struggling financially. She's asking if I can lend her money or help her get back on her feet. I'm torn because part of me wants to support my sister no matter what, but another part feels she crossed a line that can't be ignored. I talked to my parents, and they say I should help Emma because family is family, and this could be her way of apologizing. But I don't know if I can trust her after everything. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to help my sister after she deliberately ruined my wedding out of jealousy? Am I being too harsh? Or is she the one who needs to make things right first?